Roxo Media House.
Practice 7 in Fort Worth today at the Morris Practice Fields. There was one word describing this one: details from head coach Sonny Dykes. Frogs Today starts right now.
This is Frogs Today Daily. Frog Fall Camp 2022 presented by Dave's Hot Chicken. And here's your host, the voice of the Frogs, Brian Estridge.
Welcome into today's edition of Frogs Today Daily, presented by our friends at Dave's Hot Chicken. I'm Brian Estridge. We got a busy day planned. Malcom Kelly, the Horned Frog wide receiver coach, is going to stop by. We got a special surprise from him. Also joining us from the interview room today is A.J. Ricker, the offensive line coach for the Horned Frogs, and Sam Jackson, that quarterback we talked about yesterday. He's going to be by as well. David Beaudin's alongside. We're talking offense with the coach, Jeff Wilson. He's diving into one of the D's here today. Details, name of the game here on practice number 6 for the Horned Frogs. As joining us right now, though, is our friend Jeff Patman from the Flying T Club. Good to see you, man. Glad you were out here for practice today. What'd you think?
Well, it was really impressive. You know, I could tell there's a big difference between practice this year and last year. And it's really exciting to see the amount of energy all the players have, and I'm really excited for the upcoming season.
Well, I could tell there was a difference because you were right in the middle of some of those drills. That wouldn't have happened in previous years. Hey, give me some sense of what's happening at the Flying T Club. You guys obviously have been important in the NIL space for TCU. A lot of momentum right now. Yeah,
we have. We're coming up on our first year. You know, we started the Flying T Club last September. We've had a great first year. We've raised over $2.5 million. Wow. We have over 160 members. And we have, at this point right now, about 32 ambassadors for Flying T Club. So we're able to put these membership donations to, you know, towards the players and really getting a lot of action out of that.
You know, and the thing about it, too, one of the things that I love is the mentorship side of things that you've brought to it. You're getting these players access to businessmen and women and leaders in the community that can share some insight that they don't get in the classroom.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think, you know, that's one of the great things about the club is we've got so many successful Horned Frogs here in the community, and it's just a great opportunity of bringing everyone together, giving them the opportunity to have unique experience with our ambassadors, getting them the opportunity to maybe they might have some free time next summer to where they can go and get an internship or just get to know other people here in the community and you know, have a possibility of having a very successful business career after sports.
All right, give us some sense of where folks can go to learn more. I know you got a website up and running. And
yeah, so you can go to our website. It's flyingtclub.com. You can go in there and make a donation or join the club. You know, we're having our first inaugural Flying Tea Party August 24th at Joe T's. We look forward to seeing everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're expecting over 300 people. I know Frogs Today will be out there.
We will, yes. We're looking forward to it. We appreciate the partnership. Look forward to what that event at Joe T's. Also looking forward to what the future is going to hold. I think the future's huge as far as that space and what can happen here at TCU, man. I really do. Jeff, thanks for coming by.
Good to see you as usual.
Good to see you, man, always.
Thank you, Go Frogs.
All right, coming up, we're going to talk to our two experts out in the field. David Beaudin's going to join us next when we continue here from our friends at Dave's Hot Chicken. It is Frogs Today Daily.
The Flying T Club provides the everyday TCU fan and alum the ability to specifically support TCU student athletes. Flying T Club offers 3 levels of memberships. The Flying T Club is a nonprofit organization supporting the brand development of TCU student athletes through a series of unique event-based networking opportunities, which are exclusive to our members. These events provide a great social engagement tool for our members and student athletes alike. Follow them on Instagram at Flying T Club or online at flyingtclub.com.
Dave's Hot Chicken is a cult favorite and now has 2 locations in Fort Worth. Brian Irvin Road at I-20 and Berry Street at TCU, both owned and operated by Horned Frogs. Order the number 4 or the number 5 for the tastiest lunch special under $10. Or order online at daveshotchicken.com. Welcome back into the Morris Practice Fields, where we've taken that Flying T Club studio on the road here today. Thanks to our friends at Dave's Hot Chicken for being our sponsor of these Frogs Today dailies. Of course, you can mention Frogs Today, get 10% off at Dave's Hot Chicken. All right, let's dive right into practice number 7 today. We've dispatched David Beaudin and Jeff Wilson. We'll start with the coach. Coach Beaudin, who had a chance to take a look at this group as they scrimmaged early on, and scrimmage plays obviously kind of set the tone for things. And, David, it looked like early this offense was on fire for Sonny Dykes.
Yes, that's exactly right. The offense, I think, had its best morning, at least the kick things off for practice. So Coach Sonny Dykes really likes to come out in a team tempo period to set the tone for the rest of practice. So as soon as stretch is over, both teams run over to the other field, offense versus defense, 11 on 11, and it's as fast as possible. Trying to honestly get to a point where it's faster in practice and it actually slows down in the game. So they're spotting that ball a lot faster than even the officials will on game day. But it slows things down on Saturdays is the idea. And for today, the offense certainly stood out. They really gashed them in some runs, hit them in some deep balls as well. So they were all over the field today, really efficient to kick things off for practice. So the nod goes to the offense, at least for this morning. But you know how camp is, and go back and forth, and it certainly will. And the competition has been fierce.
Okay, did anybody on that offense stand out in particular for you, David?
Well, in terms of standouts, you have to look at right away at Darius Davis, who had 2 touchdowns in that opening team tempo period. One, he was wide open. Max Duggan hit him on just a straight vertical route, but really it was uncontested. And then about 3 plays later, he really did a great job in the end zone. The defensive guys were claiming push-off, although they always do. But he, went up and made a play on a contested ball in the end zone. So he had 2 touchdowns, both from Max Duggan. And then you saw Kendre Miller rip off some huge runs. Obviously he's super talented, but really the offensive line did a tremendous job in zone. They got some penetration and just washed everyone down. So really not on those plays, the talk has been, and Coach Sonny Dykes talked about the offensive line and the vertical movement and push they've been getting. And this one here today on a couple of the big runs on zone, it was more horizontal movement. So as they're getting penetration, the offensive line would wash them down the line, and it really creased for Kendre Miller a couple times to rip off some big runs. So really those are the 2 big standouts were Miller and Darius Davis, but exciting day for the offense for sure all the way around.
That's Coach David Beaudin joining us there. All right, now Jeff Wilson out in the field as well, and we'll visit with him coming up. Also, Malcom Kelly, the Horned Frog wide receiver coach. He'll be by when Frogs Today Daily continues in a moment.
Dave's Hot Chicken is a cult favorite and now has 2 locations in Fort Worth. Bryant Irvin Road at I-20 and Barry at Cockrell Street at TCU. Both owned and operated by Horned Frogs. Mention the Frogs Today Show and get 10% off anytime. Order online at daveshotchicken.com.
Welcome back into the Morris practice fields here at TCU. It is Frogs Today Daily. We are honored to be joined by Malcom Kelly, the wide receiver coach for the Horned Frogs. Malcom, good to see you, man.
How we doing?
All right, you made it through another one today, huh?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. It was good.
Give us an update. You're a little over a week in. Give me some sense of how your guys are doing.
I think, and I talk to my guys every day after practice. I want us to keep climbing. I want us to keep improving, And since day one, the group has been going this way, and we haven't really plateaued, and I'm trying not to jinx us, by saying that, but even the young guys, you had a freshman who were just getting here who were making plays. Some of the other guys that kind of started off slow the first day or so, and now they're picking it up. You know what I mean? Day 5 and day 6 are days where guys get tired, rerun more than anybody, So those days you would think you would plateau, but those guys have done a really good job of just pushing through and playing hard and finishing the day.
One of the things that we've talked about in that wide receiver room is that you've got a mixture of all skill sets. Mm-hmm. You got big guys, you got little guys in the slot, you got guys that can get it, you got guys that can run by everybody. It feels like it's a complete package when you're looking around the room. Am I right?
No, I would agree. I think it's been a long time that as an entire group that we've had this many talented guys. And I feel really good, about saying that. Now, again, we have to come out and show it, and we have to come out and show it on a daily basis and on a weekly basis once the season gets here. But, again, those guys have played a lot of ball. I mean, you're talking about Darius Davis and Tate Barber. Those guys, fifth-year seniors, played a lot of ball, made a lot of plays. You got guys on the outside. Quentin Johnson is going to be who he's going to be, So I think they know it. I think they can smell it. And I think being in this offense and knowing schematically that the ball is going to be flying around, I think that brings those guys, it brings the juice for them when they come to practice.
You know, it's interesting you bring up Tate Barber. We had him on yesterday, compliments of the Flying T Club, and one of the things he talked about was one of the reasons he came back was this offense.
Mm-hmm.
He just felt like with Garrett and Coach Dykes and with you that he was going to get touches, that he thought, you know what, I could go somewhere else and showcase my skill set, but I'm not so sure it's going to be any better than what's going to happen here, and I think he's on to something.
No, I do. I think, historically, if you look at Coach Dykes and his offense, they're pretty much top 10 every single year in pretty much every category. So for a wideout, the situation doesn't get a lot better, than what this is. And especially for Tay, again, it's like you can leave and go somewhere else, or you can stay right here at home and go out and showcase who you are and your abilities. And I think, obviously, he made the right decision by doing that. But like I said, man, I think schematically and historically, this offense has put guys in position to make plays on the edge on a consistent basis.
One of the things that you challenge your guys to with this offense is they got to be able to read and react. They got to be on the same page with their quarterback. They have to adjust on the fly. They got to be a cerebral group out there on the field, don't they?
Yes, they do. They do. And we put guys in different positions. Sometimes they'll be in the slot, and sometimes we move them outside, and they have to be able to read coverage. All of those things, but I think we have our approach to installing our offense. Garrett does a really good job in our approach. Our guys pretty much see the information 3 different times before we go out and actually practice. So that has allowed our guys to think less and play faster. And again, our guys have just embraced that and ran with it.
You have embraced the city of Fort Worth. You've embraced TCU. I'm just going to be honest. If folks that don't know, you've had chances to leave, and you haven't.
Yep.
Does that help you in the recruiting process? For you to be able to look a guy in the eye and say, listen, I could have gone. I stayed. You know how good it is.
Oh, trust me. I use it pretty much anytime I talk to somebody. Yeah. I think it's just something about being somewhere and building a program. Yeah. That's it's easy for guys to pack up and leave and go to different places, and but like I say, at this point in time, I would take our receiver room pretty much against you name them. Yeah. So, and again, you can't do that by up and leaving once every year or two and going different places. So when you stay somewhere, now you can tell a kid, hey, when I come and sit in your living room and I tell your parents that I'm going to develop you on and off the field, I mean that. And when you get ready to graduate, I'm going to be here when you get ready to graduate. And when you leave and you need something, you can reach back because I'm still here. So and again, just going back to Coach Pat, that was one of the biggest things Coach Patterson left with me, was being in a place for 20-plus years and you have 40-year-old guys reaching back, who need help or who need assistance. That's program building, you know what I mean? And that's what Coach Dykes is going to do here now. And I believe in that vision. So, again, like you say, I've had opportunities to go other places. This place makes sense. I'm from Longview, Texas, man. I'm from 2 hours down the road.
Exactly. I love your sincerity, man. I really do. Now, folks, the other thing, Malcom went viral this week. Earlier in the week, the video from OU got re-released.
Yep.
Give us the lead up, and we're going to play it, but give us the lead up. So this was in the locker room?
Yeah.
Right. Tell me what was happening here.
So we were playing in the Big 12 championship game.
Right.
And I had a big game.
Yep.
And so the funny thing is I used to do that after every game.
Right.
That's just something that we all did.
Sure, yeah.
It just so happened that was the Big 12 championship game, so media and everybody was in there, and they had the cameras on. And I was like, I thought about it, and I said, you know what, do I want to do this? I don't want to slip up and say something I shouldn't say.
Right.
I was like, you know what, why not?
Exactly.
So I didn't expect it to be what it is now.
All right, this is Malcom after the Big 12 Media Day, or after the Big 12 Championship, I should say.
Quiet. Go on and get crunk. Head back to Longview, Kelly popping trunk. I ain't even tripping. Riding and I'm sipping. Let me come through, 4-4, steady tipping. On that new lap, watch the trunk crack. Let me sit sideways, CB running back. Maybe AP, maybe AD. I ain't even tripping cause we some athletes. Messing with Smitty in the summertime. He get pissed if we don't make our time. But we gon' get it cause we gotta finish. Nebraska Horn Huskers, man, we diminish.
All right, so that's back in your playing days.
Yep.
But the part that went viral was you did it again. When was this? A year ago? When was this?
So now I do have to say this. That wasn't supposed to get out.
Okay.
Before I did it, I told everybody in the room, put your cameras up. This is not supposed to get out of here.
Right.
That's what I told them.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
It happened how it was supposed to happen.
Exactly.
So obviously, and you know the tradition here, historically, if you're a new coach or you're a new player, you have to get up and, you have to perform a talent.
Sure.
So the kids really didn't give me a choice. It was like, Coach, you're not doing anything but the freestyle.
Yeah, but we got to hear you.
But even within that, you have to switch up the words,
right,
to make it fit where you are right now.
Yep.
So, and I'll tell you, I never do that freestyle for anybody. I never do it. But again, the kids wanted me to do it. I did it. I'm still trying to find out who leaked it out there. But yeah, that's kind of how that happened.
Well, he pulls it off. Here it is. This is the modern edition from Malcom right now.
Double dribble, yeah. Cause I'm a player. Yeah. From the Himalaya. Yeah. Let me sit sideways, man. Baby back door. Yeah. Baby fall off. Sipping codeine cause I gotta kill a call. Yeah. Let me sit sideways in the big beans. Yeah. TCU boys. They my brothers, they my friends. Yeah. I let Coach P. Yeah. What's up, Coach Luke? Yeah. Let me sit sideways in the two-door cool. Yeah. Yeah, boys, I'm a lead. Yeah. Look at my pants, gotta say in my jeans. Yeah. Let me sit sideways cause I'm steady coming. Yeah. Quarterback's throwing that ball. Receivers gonna catch it. Yeah. Receivers gonna wreck it. Yeah. TCU this year, yeah, them boys showing that. Yeah.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a good sport about it, though, man. I love it.
No doubt.
You got a talent. If your coaching thing doesn't work out,
no.
Come on.
No.
You don't think so?
No. It'll be something other than that, I can promise you.
Scrimmage coming up Thursday. What do you want to see?
Guys, be competitive, be in the right spot, know what to do, play fast, not think. And again, like I say, when the ball comes your way, make a play on the ball.
Love it. Thanks for coming by.
You got it, man.
Always good to see you.
Appreciate you.
Malcom Kelly, wide receiver coach for the Horned Frogs. We've got a lot more still to come when we continue after this time.
Say hello to the water of tomorrow. Richard's Rainwater. Richard's Rainwater is 100% rain. Refreshing, renewable, and the only ingredient we use in our water. Why rain? Because everyone deserves access to clean water. And rain is a 100% renewable resource available everywhere. Drink the rain. Save the planet. Shop now at richardsrainwater.com.
Rolling on here after practice number 7 in Fort Worth. Welcome back into Frogs Today Daily. Don't forget, if you haven't seen it yet, our Coach Fran exclusive is available at frogstoday.com. Make sure you're a member, and you can check out this hour-long documentary on the Dennis Franchione era that just released last Thursday. Right now, though, it is time for a visit with our own Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson joins us from the Sam Baugh Indoor Facility. And, we've been talking all week long about the 5 Ds that Coach Dykes has instilled in this program. Jeff, I know you wanted to talk details today. I see the kickers there working on some details with you right now. Details is a priority for this staff, right?
Yeah. Been joined by some kickers today, Brian. Pretty excited about that. But, the details. It's one of the 5 Ds that this coaching staff, Sonny Dykes' staff, is emphasizing. Dykes, not one of the Ds. But details sure is. And one thing I noticed, speaking of details, here the last couple days, and I probably should have noticed it sooner, is a bunch of shirts being worn around here that read details, big purple letters, hard to miss, across the front. Offensive line coach A.J. Ricker was wearing a details sweatshirt today. You may want to check the weather forecast before he does that again, but it's really interesting. Obviously details are the little things, and the little things, if you do those right, that's going to allow you to execute at a higher level. And this team, two new systems, new offense, new defense, even new special teams. They need to pay attention to the details. That'll help them, give them a head start as they try to execute and improve upon what happened last season.
Okay, let's get some specifics, Jeff. Give me some examples of the details you're talking about.
Well, Brian, you've seen these guys stretch before practice every day. I mean, it is a meticulous, detail-oriented stretch, and it's a lot of it is getting the right muscles stretched by pointing your toe inside or out, up and down, things like that. How long you hold a squat hold, how deep you get into that. But also, if you notice, if guys are at the, every 5 yards, there's the line that goes across the field, the yard line that goes across the field. Guys don't want to cross that because they treat it like it's an offside penalty if they do. So that's just one example. There are all kinds of examples. They're not, assignment, alignment. They're not all just that. Things that happen off the field too are very important. These kids are about to start class again. You gotta do the work there. You gotta pay attention to that. Got to get the good grades to stay on the field. And another way to stay on the field, speaking of details, is paying attention to your nutrition. And that's been hammered home by players. And every time we ask them about how their offseason went, it was like nutrition. TCU believes that proper nutrition will help keep players healthier longer into the season. And so you got to know what you're eating, putting in your body, things like that. Read the label, on the back of the package. So those are just a few more examples of details that could help this team bounce back from a rough season last year.
That's Jeff Wilson in the indoor facility here at TCU. Time now to dive a little deeper, if we could, into the interview room, where right now offensive line coach A.J. Ricker is addressing the media. Let's listen in on the O-line coach.
Yeah, that's so we're going to play, I call them musical chairs. So we're going to do musical chairs probably through the end of this week. And then after that, we're really going to solidify guys so they can really master their craft at that position. But, you know how it is. You never know, and got to have guys that can play multiple positions. I think the guys, really challenge the guys. We got to run the football. At the end of the day, we got to run the ball, and it's a mentality. And we talk about so many things that don't take talent, like your attitude and learning to finish and strain. And to me, I think that it's finally starting to get there. Still got a long way to go, but, O-line's such a mentality mindset. Just telling my guys that you get to do this, you don't got to do it. Because sometimes I think we get confused. And heck, I might get confused as a coach sometimes. But, look, you're not always going to feel good. It's camp. It's part of it. And we got to be more mentally and physically tougher. We got some good leadership. We really do. It starts with Steve and Coker and those guys that played a lot of football. But sometimes we confuse with playing a lot of football and being a leader. But those guys are truly a leader, whether it's vocal, whether it's by example. We have a good core. It's just they got to continue to elevate the other guys in the room. Well, O-line, it is. It's a detailed position. Everything starts with your feet. It's like the foundation. And I always tell them the feet are your foundation, your hands are an additive. And really the third phase of that is what we talk about is mindset. I don't care how talented you are, and I tell the guys all the time, the 10 guys that get on that plane to go play Colorado are going to be 10 tough dudes that might not be talented, but we can all trust. Because I'm not coaching effort. I'm not. Coach can fire me right now. But the minute I start coaching guys to play hard is the minute that I'm going to quit coaching. Listen to the message, not the delivery, because we don't have time to sit here worry about feelings. And I'm going to coach them hard because I feel like I owe that to them. Still got a ways to go, but and like I said, I'm not going to hold anything back. I don't care what you've done in the past. I don't care if you're all conference. I'm going to coach all the guys the same, and he's a guy that you probably hear me say his name a lot because I expect a lot, and he has a lot to offer, but he's really made some strides.
That's offensive line coach A.J. Ricker. Let's head back in there, though, real quick. Sam Jackson making his way to the podium, the backup quarterback for the Horned Frogs, talking to the media in the interview room as we speak.
Well, me and Coach Riley talked about a 2-quarterback package early on in the spring, so I kind of knew that it was coming. But it was pretty fun just to get at a different position. Obviously, I'm not going to be at those positions like too much, but it was pretty fun getting to see that package. Yeah, me and Coach Riley have been talking a lot about getting me on the field, so I knew the package was coming. I knew they're trying to figure out how to get me on the field. So it's been a pretty good feeling to know that for sure. Coach Riley, he's a great coach. He's great at teaching you the concept, so he's pretty much been working with me a lot on learning the X's and O's. So it's not as complicated as I thought it was going to be coming in, just because my offense in high school was kind of different, and the offense from last year was sort of different, but it's kind of the same to me. Watching the film with the other quarterbacks in the room, we kind of discussed that I need to be more patient in the pocket and trust my second and third option. So that's definitely something that I've been working on. It's a lot of competition in the quarterback room, but it's healthy competition. So I learned a lot from Max, and I learned a lot from Chandler, and I learned a lot from even the guys that are younger than me. But like, we have the walk-on Pardee. He wants to be a coach, so he's like literally like another Coach Riley, to be honest. So he's coaching all of the quarterbacks. We're learning so much from Party. We learn from watching Max, and we learn from watching Chandler too. So we've added a lot of depth to the receiver room, and I feel like we have one of the best receiver rooms in the country, for sure, receiving corps in the country.
There you have an insight from Sam Jackson, part of that new Wolf Pack package they've put in for the backup quarterback for the Horned Frogs. We'll have more on that as things progress toward the start of the season. All right, number 7 in the books, number 8 tomorrow. We'll be back here for that at the Morris Practice Fields for another edition of Frogs Today Daily. Big thank you to David Beaudin and Jeff Wilson for their help today. Obviously to Coach Malcom Kelly, who stopped by earlier, A.J. Ricker, Sam Jackson in the interview room, our entire staff here on site making it possible. Back with you again tomorrow for another edition. Frogs Today Daily, presented by Dave's Hot Chicken. That's where we're headed right now. 2 number 3s. 2 number 3s today for Jay Fitzgerald. We'll film it, show you tomorrow. See you then.
Frogs Today Daily, presented by Dave's Hot Chicken, is a production of Roxo Media House.
Roxo Media House.